Hi folks, Dave with dbstechtalk, and today we're going to talk about the AudioFly AF100 Mark IIs. I want to thank AudioFly for sending these over all the way across all of the oceans and countries that it did, all the way from Australia. Do greatly appreciate it, and AudioFly, you rock. I want to also thank all my patrons and all the support that they provide to the channel, and also all the fun that we have on Discord and on Patreon, chatting it up, answering questions, and just overall just having fun and goofing around. If you are interested in becoming a patron of the channel or supporting the channel in various other ways, check out the links down below. Also, there'll be links to AudioFly's website and the product of the AF100 Mark IIs that we're going to review today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe also. So the AudioFly AF100 Mark IIs are roughly around $80 USD, and they have a lot of competition, but AudioFly has put them in a totally different kind of approach than most $80 IEMs are, and that is these are focused for musicians. More specifically, I think these are focused mainly at bass players and drummers. So how do these AudioFly AF100 Mark IIs sound? Well, first, let's talk about the build and the accessories that you get. The box is very straightforward and simple. You just open it up, your IEMs are in a little container, you pull them out, and then you get this case. Everything else is inside the case. It says AudioFly, and it's nice and hard case, very small, fits right in the hand. It feels sturdy. I have no worries that this is going to protect them. And then when you open up your thing, you can have your IEM sitting in there, and you have a little pouch to carry your extra tips and accessories that they provide. So they do include a 1/4-inch adapter for you. They include a set of, if I can dig them out here, some Comply foam tips, which did come in a little package that I had to open because I used the Complies. You also get a package of olive-shaped tips, small, medium, and large, and then you get small, medium, and large of triple flange. And that's it. That's the whole package. I mean, it's a very small, very compact package, and it gives you everything that you should need. The IEMs themselves are extremely small and have a nice cable. Couple of little quibbles is, number one, it's an attached cable. It's $80. I can live with it. I would prefer a detached cable, but at the same time, if it's a nice cable, I can live with it being attached. The cable itself is a nice cable, so I can live with it being attached. Right angle has a little bit of markings, and it has the 3.5 millimeter with a step down. Very nicely built. Has a rubber sheath on it, clear white. Then you get to the split. The split has AudioFile logo on it. Has a little cinch. That's just a piece of clear plastic. And then here are your IEMs. Cable really does not tangle very much, and if it does tangle, it's extremely easy to undo, so no worries there. There are your IEMs. They are extremely small. They're clear, and if you're just looking at them, you're going to go, those kind of look cheap. They look chintzy, just clear plastic. They don't look like anything spectacular. And yeah, I can understand that. Plus, with the attached cable, yeah, I can see how you would think that. But when you start to understand what these are actually for, it kind of makes sense why they're clear and why they're so small. Because these are focused for musicians, You want them to hide in your ear, not be something boisterous and sticking straight way out. And also you want them to blend in so people don't see this weird colors. Now, some musicians and stuff like flashy colors. I get that. But if you're one of the ones that just wants something clean, clear, here you go. So you just put them on. They go around behind your back. You put them in your ear. And with the clear, they just disappear. They're super small, super tiny, and you really don't notice them. Extremely small. Does have a marking for L and R for your right and left. There's also a little bit of writing there on the inside that says something to the effect about made in Australia. And then there's a little bit of a logo on the shell. Very small. Ear hooks are just about perfect for me. They have enough tension to keep everything in order and not too much tension to be too tight on the ears. I find that these are extremely comfortable to use. Take the tip off here and you can see the angle in the nozzle. And as you can see, the nozzle is extremely long and very small. There's your screen. Look how small that is. You can see most of the inner workings in there. You can see the 9mm dual diaphragm dynamic. It's got a fairly aggressive angle. And I use the small olive-shaped tips, and I also used the Comply foam tips. Find that they just pop right in the ears. You get best isolation with the foams, second best with the triples, and then the singles actually isolate quite well myself. For me, they insert real well, and I find that they isolate about 75% of outside noise. I find it really hard to hear people talking, watching TV, walking around in the neighborhoods. The only time I really heard anything was if it was extremely loud. So these do a really good job of blocking out sounds that you really do not want. How do they sound? Well, as I said, that they seem to be focused more for drummers and bass guitars. I really was quite impressed with the bass quality on these. I totally enjoy the bass that the AudioFly AF100 Mark IIs provide. I think that these would make a bass head happy. I really do. It's a different type of bass. If you're looking just for, I'm going to muddy things up and just give myself a headache type of bass, these don't provide that. But if you really like a deep, nice, detailed, properly spaced out type of bass with good impact and good slam, then these are it. So if you're a bass head that likes details, here you go. I like the sub bass. It extends well. You have a nice presence to it, a good enough body and girth and slam into sub bass when it's called upon, but it's not to the point where it is constantly overpowering the rest of the mix. The mid bass has very good, nice slam and texture to it. It has very good tones, and is accurately spaced out. Has very good detail retrieval within there. And the bass I find just to be extremely pleasant to listen to. I really, really enjoy them. When you get into the upper bass and into the lower treble or into the lower mids, it does not bleed in, but there is a little bit of a warmth there. The same tonality and the details still are present. The mids are very nicely done with tonality and timbre. They sound natural. They do have a little bit of a warmer signature to them, and they are slightly on the darker side of neutral, but I find that they are extremely pleasant and well controlled. The details are on average. It's not the most detailed mids that exist in this price point, but also I find that you're not really lacking any details. I find that where these are really pleasing is in the tonality and in just the natural feel of them. Everything just sounds like it does in real life. They just have a way of presenting very smoothly. Treble is a little bit on the more laid back tones, a little bit on close to dark like the mids are, but I wouldn't say that these are extremely dark, because you do get details there, you do get some air there, and it extends well. It's just not as portrayed as the bass. The bass is the more prominent part of the signature for the AF100 Mark IIs, but I really enjoy these. They bring out the details, they bring out the abilities of the bass instruments very well. Soundstage is actually very pleasing on these. I was really surprised. The soundstage is somewhat above average for the price point, and it doesn't feel like you're in a helmet. Doesn't feel like you're in a closed room. It does feel like there's naturalism and openness to the sound. They do a very good job of that, and they do an excellent job in spacing out. It has very good spatial awareness in the IEM, especially for this price point. You get very good spacing of the instruments. You can hear air around the instruments, and you can tell that people are sitting here and here and here and here instead of all clumped in together. It does a nice job of tracking things across the stage, and it does a very good job of moving things forward and backward on the stage. I wouldn't say that it's a 3D sound. It's more 2D, straight across in front of you, but it does a good job with what it does portray. It does a decent job also of height and depth. The layering is very good on it. So overall, the AudioFly AF100 Mark II, yeah, I really enjoy the sound for the bass. These are probably my favorite bass IEM for $100 or less. I really do enjoy them a lot. They're very easy to power. Power them off of a phone with a dongle. Very easily, you can power them off of DAPs very easily. Desktops are overkill for it. It powers them okay, but I did find that you got some hiss and in background noise, and also you would get some distortion at very low levels. So I would stick with the more lesser powered gear. I did try these on a soundboard, and I found that they worked very well. So I plugged them into a Allen & Heath QU24 and used them to do a little bit of monitoring, and I found that they worked exceptionally well in that setting, and I was able to place things extremely well. So yes, if you're looking for something to use for monitoring IEM on a budget of $100 or so, the AF100 Mark II may be something you want to consider. The other IEMs in this bracket really don't compare, because most of them aren't for the musician, aren't for the professional. They're usually for more of just a casual listener or something along those lines. But they do match up fairly decently to an iBosso IT01, a SIMGOT EN700 Pro, the Moondrop Starfields, and the Tin Hi-Fi T3. The Tin Hi-Fi T3 will sound brighter and less bassy. The iBosso IT01 will also sound brighter and but doesn't have as nice of mids. The SIMGOT EN700 Pro is probably the closest to these without having quite as much bass impact as the AudioFly AF100 Mark IIs do. and also not as much detail retrieval, even though the SIMGOTS will be a little bit brighter sounding into treble. And what was the other one I mentioned? The Moondrop Starfield. The Moondrop Starfield has a bigger sound stage, a little more engaging sounding, a little bit warmer, but they are a little bit lacking in the resolution, the Starfield is, compared to the AudioFly. So the AudioFly AF100 Mark IIs, yeah, I give these thumbs up. If you're looking for a bassy IEM with really good details and clarity in the bass and in the mids section with a little bit darker treble, then yeah, AF100 Mark IIs, here you go. I really enjoy these, and I'm going to miss them when I have to send them all the way back across the pond to Australia. So Audiophile, I do greatly appreciate you sending these over, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the time that I've had with them, and I look forward to hearing more Audiophile gear. Hopefully we can continue reviewing that. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Also, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the links down below for links to Audiophile, to the gear mentioned in the review, and also to check out links of how you can support the channel. And there's also playlists from Tidal and Deezer down there also. Thanks, and have yourself a great day.